Good afternoon. It is 4 p.m., so that means it is time for justice. And today, I know I might have said that I wanted to discuss the last little bit of my favorite beats of the 2020s. But today, I gotta put that on hold. We'll come back to that at some point. But right now, when this comes out, the NFL season will be in the middle of its bye week. Um, between the first week of the season and the last preseason game. So I really wanted to get this off my chest. So I had a couple storylines in the NFL that I am really looking forward to, or really not looking forward to, looking for finding out the answer to them. Um, so my interest stories. The first one is Jaden Daniels and the sophomore slump. I'm very curious to see how he plays, how his team around him plays. I'm an Eagles fan, so I have to keep up with all the teams in my division. The Washington Commanders have definitely upgraded at a lot of positions. They brought in their Tunsil, Debo Samuel. They brought back Bobby Wagner. They're still having a contract dispute with Terry McLaurin, which I don't know why. They just need to pay him because without him, that offense looks completely different with Debo Samuel as your number one receiver. So I think the Commanders will figure that out. Hopefully they figure it out with Terry, because I'm all for the players getting paid. And Terry needs to be paid for his services before, and he's dealt with he hasn't had a quarterback since he's been in the league. He's had Alex Smith, Ryan Fitzpatrick, guys like Taylor Heineke. So he's been through the mill of good quarterbacks, and he finally gets a good quarterback. It puts up one heck of a season, one of the better seasons we saw last year, and now they don't want to pay him, which doesn't make much sense in my eyes. But Terry McLaurin definitely deserves to be paid. The second one, this is extremely obvious who's starting for the Cleveland Browns. Now, as of today, August 20th, as of August 20th, it is announced that Joe Flacco will be the starter for week 1. Kenny Pickett will be the number 2 quarterback. Dylan Gabriel will be the number 3 quarterback. And Shedeur Sanders, who everybody really wanted to see, is the number 4 quarterback on the roster. Mind you, the Cleveland Browns have 6 quarterbacks on their roster, with Tyler Huntley and Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson won't play this year and probably will never suit for the Browns again. Dylan Gabriel just had his first preseason start all the way through against my Eagles, and he looked decent. One bad interception. I think I saw a lot of people complaining that it was a receiver or tight end's fault that they pulled their arms away, when really you threw to whoever when there's 4 people in the same 3 feet box, and it just didn't make sense. He had a fumble, so he had a decent game. He was moving the ball well. The Eagles defense was suspect. I'm just going to say the backups looked horrible outside of Makuba. And I think had the Eagles offense been a little bit competent, because they only had 88 yards, I don't know what the stats would look like for Dylan Gabriel, but because the Browns defense looked so good against the Philadelphia Eagles, the Eagles offense, the Browns offense was able to stay on the field a whole lot more than I think the Eagles anticipated, and even more than Gabriel anticipated. So it gave him time to move the ball, work the offense, and Kevin Stefanski's scheme. You saw that really play out during the game. Next point, was Brock Purdy worth it? Now, Brock Purdy just got paid over 200 M's. Now, this team is about to be in cap hell. You got a lot of older players. Christian McCaffrey came off a weird season where he wasn't really fully healthy at all. And I'm curious to see how he responds. They don't have Debo Samuel anymore. Brandon Ayuk is his time, but he was out for the majority of the season. This team was rough last year, and hopefully Kyle Shanahan, I don't know how long Kyle Shanahan's leash is, since that Super Bowl loss, which mainly, to me and a lot of people, mainly falls on him for his lack of offense. The defense did their job, and then the first thing they did was fire Steve Wilks, who was a Charlotte native, which is very disrespectful, but I digress. So yeah, I'm curious to see who's Brock Purdy paid. Let me run through these last 2 before my time is up. What are the Bengals doing? They haven't paid. They paid Shamar Stewart, but they won't pay Trey Hendricks, and they probably will get off to another slow start and figure it out midway through the season. And how will my Eagles respond to the Super Bowl success? Will they continue to dominate, or will they be another team that just falls flat during that Super Bowl era? Those are my stories. That is my interest. Please, thank you so much for listening. It is time for justice. This video is going up on YouTube. Bye.
He go to the Hall of Fame if he keeps playing like this.